After what I saw at the farmer's market, I'm surprised they don't charge admission at that place.
We're the Culbertson kids from Jacksonville, Florida.
Let's talk about that.
Good mythical morning.
Today's episode is brought to you by Smule, maker of apps like I Am T-Pain, which we will now demonstrate.
We're going to sing, and then it's going to be T-Painized. Hold it right here. Moving at the speed of conversation.
Cause it's a good mythical morning.
All right. So there was a beat playing, but now we'll let you hear the... Moving at the speed of conversation.
Cause it's a good mythical morning. Oh, nice.
I like that.
Yeah.
All right, thanks for joining us and for moving along with us at the speed of conversation. This is another episode of Good Mythical Morning that we do every weekday morning to become a part of your morning routine. How many times do I have to say morning for you to know that you don't have to even watch it in the morning?
Well, if you keep saying morning, you're trying to make people watch it in the morning, and I don't want to make people watch it. It should be Good Mythical Day. We talked about that, but it doesn't have two M's in it. We wanted to be able to say GMM. And GMD isn't like genuine.
Miller Genuine Draft.
That's okay. MGD.
Yeah,
Miller Genuine Draft.
Right, we're not sponsored by
aren't.
beer. We're sponsored by Smule today. So let's just move on to the farmer's market.
Well, my mom was in town recently. We thought about bringing her on.
Mama Di.
Mama Di is what we call her
Because her name is Diane.
She's not because she's about to die. She is a grandmother. And that was what she wanted to be called. And we love it. Mama Di. It's a good Southern grandma name. Nobody else has it. Mama Di came into town for a couple of days. We thought about bringing her on the show, but we didn't want to do that to her. I mean, who?
Well, she charged too much.
Yeah.
Her rates are too high. We just can't afford. We can't afford to bring her on.
But what we could do is we could take her to the farmer's market in Hollywood.
Now, when you say we, you don't mean me and you. You mean you
my
and
wife,
your family.
Yes. And
I wasn't invited.
The reason that we took her to the farmer's market is because we're trying to show her Los Angeles, and and she actually did live out here for a little bit over in Thousand Oaks when I was a kid, but she wasn't a huge fan of the California experience. But she likes to visit, and she likes to come out and see how things are different. And you take people to the Hollywood farmer's market, and you just get to see a lot of things that you don't get to see back in North Carolina.
Now explain to them how the Hollywood farmers market works in general, right? It's a street.
Well, you can explain it. You could tell me to explain it, and then
I'm asking you.
That's fine.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's a street that usually has cars on it that they close off.
They close it off on Sundays.
And then they bring in tents.
And there's people hawking their wares. Is it hawking or hawking? Hawking is like a loogie.
Let's say selling.
Okay, they're selling stuff. And those things include food, lots of different kinds of food. Those things include all these different crafts. There's just a lot of interesting things to buy and a lot of interesting people to see. And it is the people that I want to talk about. Because...
Well, they're all farmers, right?
Well, you would think that. There's a lot of farmers. I'm talking about the people who are not only selling stuff, but the people who are frequenting, who are partaking in the farmer's market.
The customers.
And it made me come to a conclusion where I've got a theory about Los Angeles and being here that I will get to eventually. Okay. We enter into the farmer's market, and within 20 seconds, we see a man. This man has on black vinyl pants that are very, very tight, and then go into a bell-bottom formation at the bottom.
Oh, wow.
Where he is wearing very, very large and high platform shoes. I'm talking maybe 8 inches of heel and front part of the shoe. He's like almost on stilts.
So he's a circus performer.
No, he's just coming to the farmer's market.
He's just a customer.
He has on a gold sequined tank top, and then over that, a black vinyl jacket. Keep in mind, it's like 84 degrees out there. And then he's got huge dreadlocks, kind of pulled back almost like the Predator. He kind of reminded me of the Predator. And these really futuristic glasses.
I'm sure he would love to hear you say that. You know who you look like, man?
Now listen.
You look like the Predator.
This guy is just a normal guy normal guy walking through the Hollywood Farmers Market. If this guy was at Walmart in Fuquay Arena, they would call the cops and say, "The aliens have come. The aliens are here." They would be completely convinced that we were under attack by aliens. And this guy is just at the farmer's market
buying carrots,
buying tomatillos and stuff, you know? I go down a little bit further.
Did you talk to this guy?
No, I just looked at him.
Did you take his photo?
No, I just looked at him.
Why didn't you take his photo?
A mental picture.
Well, you could have shared the photo with us, man.
Well, he's probably online somewhere. Just type in "crazy man at farmer's market." Actually, you know what will happen?
Farmer's market predator.
You'll get a bunch of pictures, because I go down a little bit further and there's these musicians, you know, and there's this one guy who is this old Chinese man who looks like a kung fu master, and I'm not exaggerating.
Mustache?
Very long gray and white Fu Manchu down to here, long hair, and he has this hat and he has a guitar and he's playing the guitar. And from a distance you hear and see he's just going, and then you get a little bit closer and you listen, and he's like singing standards like Blue Suede Shoes. I guess that's not a standard, it's an Elvis song. But you listen close and he's like, "Stay off my blue suede shoes." And all the songs sound exactly the same, and he's just going from one to the next. And people are putting money in the thing. You know, they want to see this.
So, Kung Fu Elvis impersonator.
Yes. But then that wasn't even the beginning of it.
So did you put any money in the hat?
No.
Did you talk to him?
No.
Did you take his photo?
I looked at him. I go down a little bit further, and now I see one man with a bongo drum. This is what he's doing. Boom. Boom. Boom.
That's it?
Boom. Boom. He's just hitting a bongo over and over again.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
That's not it, though.
Okay.
There is a family that has put a blanket down right in front. They have chosen the spot. They have put a blanket down in front of Boom Man. And they
Like
are
front row seats?
This like normal looking yuppie family, and they're just eating stuff that all this food they've gotten from the farmer's market, and they have chosen to situate themselves in front of the Bong Man. Because they're part of the scene. You understand? They're part of this Hollyweird thing that's happening at the farmer's market, where there's the bonger man sitting there. Boom. He's not playing a beat. I guess it is kind of a beat.
But he wasn't singing.
They just set up shop.
Was he selling a CD?
Nothing. He was just boom.
Because I would buy that
Boom.
CD.
And then the last thing is, I hear what I hear as good music. Like I hear it, and I'm like, that's something that's pleasant. And I go up, and there is like a 6'8" man playing the harp. And I make eye contact with this guy, and he's got these glasses, and they're kind of down like this, and he's looking up at me. And this guy is looking at me and smiling and has just this infectious smile. He is communicating to me with his eyes that he is having the most fun he has ever had playing this harp. And there's no hat around him. You can't give him money. And then this disheveled looking this guy was really sweaty and kind of disheveled, kind of greasy hair kind of going one way.
Well, as you know, playing the harp makes a man sweat.
No. A man came up to him.
Oh, this is a
different guy.
Okay, a customer.
Man comes up, kind of hair kind of going off to one side. He's got part of his shirt tucked in and part of it not tucked in, and he's not making a fashion statement. You know what I'm saying? That kind of guy.
Okay.
And he just starts doing this he closes his eyes sort of halfway, and he's like,
Starts dancing?
dancing to the harp.
Now, was the harpist's eyes still locked on you?
No, now they were looking at this guy who was dancing.
Because I was wondering how long you and him were in an eye embrace.
And I'm like 10 to 15 feet away at this point. I've kind of moved over towards the pomelos.
You gave the half tucked in dude some space.
Gave him some space to dance. And then I'm fascinated with, of course my mom is fascinated with this too, but I'm just sitting there.
She has not fled?
No. And I'm looking at this guy, and then his harp song ends. Resonant ending. Mm-hmm. And then they begin a conversation. And I can overhear parts of it, and then I hear the harp man say, "Yeah, man, everything balances out. I mean, it took me 3 years to figure out I was supposed to be playing the harp." And when he says, "It took me 3 years to figure out I was supposed to be playing the harp," he doesn't mean like as a hobby. What he is saying is, I am supposed to be playing the harp. That is what I am supposed to do with my life. I am a harp player.
In the farmer's market.
My role, he was basically saying, my role in the universe is to play the harp. And it took me 3 years to figure that out. And then that was when it hit me that...
And then the other guy, it took me 3 years to figure out that I'm supposed to dance in front of you like
supposed to dance to the harp. It hit me.
3 years in one day.
North Carolina boy from a small town comes to Los Angeles, goes to the farmer's market, and recognizes that all of these things are weird, okay? Let's just be honest. I love it. I'm going to go back. I enjoy it. I love the diversity of the people and of the food and the things that are being sold. But I recognize that this is weird, okay? This is straight up weird. And
good.
Then I came to the conclusion that if I stay here, if we continue to live here for an extended period of time, it's not going to be weird anymore.
At some point, it becomes the new normal.
I fear that day. And there's going to be a day when I tell you, Link, we've been here for 20 years working. It took me that long to figure out that I'm supposed to be playing the harp.
And I'm supposed to be out here dancing.
And then we're going to quit this. We're going to shut it all down. And you're going to go to the farmer's market and you're going to see me. And when people come by and make eye contact with me, I'm going to look at them like I am having the best time of my life playing the harp.
If you guys want to move yourself into the future artistically, I invite you to draw a picture of Rhett playing the harp in the farmer's market and me dancing with half of my shirt tucked in front of him. And then we send it to us in our P.O. box or post it on the community.
And we'll put it up here.
We can fixate on it so that we can realize our true potential. Let's also realize how we're going to end this episode of Good Mythical Morning.
Go to the farmer's market in Hollywood. It's fun.
Where the wheel lands is where it stops. We're going to read it, and it's going to tell us what to do. I was hoping that would be a little more catchy, but it wasn't.
Rhett apologized to Link in advance for something.
Finally. You're going to apologize in advance.
2 decades from now, when we're at the farmer's market.
Yes.
I'm on the harp. You're dancing.
Yes.
I'm going to ask you to leave. Okay? I'm going to tell you that you should be doing something else besides just dancing to my harp music. You should be playing your own instrument or selling something, fruit of some kind. You should have your own thing. Just get your own thing. I want to sit here. I want to play the harp. I want strangers to dance, not my lifelong best friend. And listen, I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry that I had to tell you that.
I forgive you. See you tomorrow. In advance.
Speed of